Hello there everybody, What Culture Wrestling's Adam Cleary here. We are mere hours, bleary-eyed hours removed from the biggest party of the SummerSlam, and it is time once again for simultaneously the closest thing this channel does to Easter egg hunting and menswear content. Attire, all the hidden attire, hidden meanings, just in the order that it is in the headline. I'm Adam Cleary. Yes, that is the thing about SummerSlam. It is simultaneously not WrestleMania, but also the closest thing WWE has to WrestleMania. And WrestleMania being the time of the year where everybody gets the big special costumes out, SummerSlam, it naturally follows, is the other time of the year where they get some of the big special costumes out. And while in the past, some of these videos have been a bit of a stretch, or a few of them have been a little tenuous, this is the biggest fashion party of the summer, so there's loads of good stuff this time. And as Michael Hamflet has put in the article version of this, while it hasn't exactly been a banner time for wrestling costumes, it hasn't been a banner time for anything over the last 6 months, and by the standards previously set by the ongoing Global Bastard, this is a bumper edition. So with that in mind, and me having double checked what the actual headline is, my name is Adam Cleary, and these are all the hidden meanings behind SummerSlam's attire. Number 8, Zelena Vega. Couldn't actually believe this one because I took one look at Zelena Vega in that in-ring segment and went, That's Sombra from Overwatch. Quick little explainer if you're not a big bad gaming nerd like me. Sombra is a character from Overwatch, which is an online, fun, team-based shoot-em-up game where you all take different heroes and you run around, you've all got different powers and different abilities, and everybody shoots everybody else and everybody's different, and it's one of the most fun shooters ever made, and Zelena Vega came dressed as one of its characters. Now, Sombra in this game is like the hacker character of the thing. She can find you when you're injured, she can stop you using her ability. She's one of the better damage-dealing characters, although I personally either play Widow or McCree, but that's by the by. She's basically just this sly, infiltrating character, which you think about what Zelena Vega's doing lately, kind of makes sense. This also does kind of reference how much time she's been spending on up, up, down, down, facing off against the whole left, right thing at the minute. But otherwise, it's just really cool. Zelena Vega plays one of the same games as me. That's nice. Number 7, Bayley. Now, ever since Bayley got that incredibly aggressive "May I see the manager now" haircut when she did her heel turn, she's been no stranger to shaving little things into the back of it to get a subtle message across on television. I mean, I say a subtle message across on television. Literally shaving the word into the back of your head isn't exactly subtle, is it? I mean, you guys can never see the back of my head in these videos, but it just says, "Send nudes." Anyway, on this particular show, Bayley had 317 not only shaved into the back of her head, but encrusted with literal, genuine diamonds. I have no idea if they were genuine diamonds, or probably still fake plastic ones, but still sounds quite interesting, doesn't it? Anyway, 317 does denote the amount of time she had currently been the women's champion heading into that show, which you might be forgiven for thinking was a bit of a tease for the fact it was going to end there, but no, it was just pure, delicious chef's kiss arrogance because she was going to retain. Don't feel bad if you missed it though, this was incredibly difficult to spot on the actual camera, and only our crack team of eagle-eyed What Culture Wrestling writers was able to spot people tweeting about it during the match itself. I mean, the thing about that is it's really clever, but I bet it took a long ass time. And what does she do today? Like, shave off the 7 and get an 8 in? You could just... I suppose the thing about a 7 is you can just kind of do a really awkward looking 8 over the top, but then where do you go on Tuesday? How do you make that a 9? Nightmare. Number 6, Andrade and Angel Garza. Now, this is one of those ones where we do stretch the definition of hidden meanings, given that the guy literally rips off his trunks and it's like, my penis is a certain colour, haha! But this was clever. Andrade and Angel Garza's whole thing is they're never quite on the same page, and ultimately that is what holds them back from winning all these big matches and achieving all these big things and reaching the levels we know they are capable of in WWE. And part of that is they don't look the same. I just got a message, let's ignore that. Part of that is they don't look the same, because if you're a tag team, you need to look the same. Now, Andrade, his beautiful pixel-popping turquoise trunks, they were on display not only for the match, but for the interview before, all of that. And Angel Garza just wasn't playing along. His were completely different. Oh, what an annoyance that is, until he did the Eurovision Bucks Fizz making your mind up reveal, and lo and behold, there he was in his tight little turquoise sparkly blue trunks. Finally, the boys had coordinated, that's the word. And this was it. After struggling for months, this level of synergy was finally going to see them win the tag team championships, except no, it didn't, because the point this was trying to make was it takes more than just matching ring gear to be a good tag team, I think. Number 5, Mandy Rose. Now, there is a long-standing SummerSlam tradition of people who are about to win the big one adorning themselves with white, black, and gold. Indeed, Seth Rollins' singles career arguably peaked the night he became both United States and WWE champion, and what was he dressed as? The goddamn White Power Ranger. The New Day have also done this exact same thing, but heading out for their formerly hair versus hair match, and now a loser gets a much-deserved 2 months off WWE match, Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, only one of them was decked out in the traditional SummerSlam colours of I'm going to win. And indeed, only one of these two was decked out in the gold, and that was Mandy Rose. And not even that, like, really tacky gold she had when she first came onto the main roster. This very classic white, black, gold number reminiscent of SummerSlam winners past. Now, of course, she wasn't about to win some amazing championship or reach her singles peak, but she was about to win, in her eyes, the big one. The greatest victory for her was not gold, sort of, it was beating her friend. So she wore gold, I guess. Anyway, bottom line here, people who dress like that at SummerSlam tend to win big matches, and lo, Mandy Rose, she won a big match. Number 4, Dominic Mysterio. Yeah, now a lot of people wanted Dominic Mysterio to come out just dressed as Rey Mysterio, which, let me tell you, as the son of a man who was very good at a particular thing, professional football, is no, I am my own person. I reject the legacy he is leaving, and even if I will play for a couple of 11-a-side teams, I refuse to do it in his position. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, Dominic Mysterio. He did not dress as Rey Mysterio because that would have been too on the nose, but instead his attire had a hood, and the hood paid tribute to Rey Mysterio. It was reminiscent of one of his very famous black and silver masks. And you know what? That hood is on the back of a surprisingly swish all-in-one number. Like, wrestlers who have like a top as well as the thing tend to look a little bit weird in my opinion, but Dominic, fair play, my man, that is absolutely working for you. I think the point here is that by having a hood, which looks a lot like one of his father's masks, he is capable of literally removing that before he steps in the ring, thus kind of casting off the legacy to emerge as his own person. I might be reaching for that, but it's my video. Number 3, Seth Rollins. Oh my god, undisputably where both SummerSlam and this video itself is going to peak. Seth Rollins came out to wrestle Rey Mysterio's son dressed like this. Oh, now not only is that pretty much the exact same attire that Rey Mysterio himself wore for that famous Halloween Havoc match in 1997, who was Rey Mysterio's opponent in that match? How good's your trivia? It was Eddie Guerrero. Yes, the same Eddie Guerrero who initially made Dominic Mysterio famous by wanting to fight for his custody in a WWE ladder match. That is, just as like visual storytelling goes, as a way to get under your opponent's skin, that is unrivaled in the year 2020, in my opinion. Like, never mind the fact that it just looks incredible, as a piece of visual storytelling shithousery. How good is that? I am going to wrestle you, but not only am I going to dress like the father whose shadow you were afraid of being stuck in, but I'm going to dress in a way he dressed when he fought your sort of uncle while he was still alive. Just as a slight aside here, I actually used to go out with a fashion buyer, and she did teach me the importance of recognizing what colors work with certain people, and I can confidently tell you that Seth Rollins and purple gets an up from me. I do another show. Number 2, Murphy. You see what I've done here? I've referenced the peak of Seth Rollins' singles career back in SummerSlam 2015 when he became both the WWE Champion and the United States Champion. Well, not just me referencing it, my dear friends, but also his good pal Murphy was doing that too. Now, yeah, alright, Murphy's only job last night was to just be on hand in case Seth Rollins needed help beating up a wrestler's son in his first ever match. Haha, heels, what are they like? But he was there as a visual motif as much as anything. That is almost exactly Seth Rollins' exact same black, white, and gold number from SummerSlam 2015 on the night where he held both belts for the one and only time in his career. Now, yes, Buddy's job was not to hold any belts, it was just to hold a child while Seth Rollins did him in, but nonetheless, clever. Bottom line here, as has been the case for pretty much the last just shy of a year or something, Buddy Murphy did not have much to do here, but he looked very good doing it. Number 1, Sasha Banks. Now, I know I said that Seth Rollins thing was really, really good, but that was in a very, like, in-your-face, haha, everybody gets the joke kind of way. This is really, really good in a, oh, do you know what that is? Oh, that's really clever. Oh, kind of way. SummerSlam 2020 was 5 years and 1 day removed from when Bayley and Sasha Banks pretty much entirely redefined women's wrestling and the company as a whole with their TakeOver Classic. That masterpiece they put on in Brooklyn remains as vital today to both the storyline they're doing now, their overall careers, and the quote-unquote women's revolution the company put on. It is, if you trace it back, one of the most seminal and important moments, not just in women's wrestling, but probably just in wrestling. And because now they're best friends and they would do anything for each other, wink wink nudge nudge, Sasha Banks was wearing not her attire from that night, but a costume that paid tribute to Bayley's attire from that night. That was a loving tribute to her friend, a mark of how far they both come together. And the genius thing about this is that Bayley did not do that. It would have been incredibly easy for her ring attire to match what Sasha had on that night, and she didn't do that. And you will of course notice she is also wearing the white, gold, and black, which tends to signify people winning the big one at SummerSlam. But of course, Sasha Banks cannot retain a championship on pay-per-view, even with this loving tribute, even with the lucky colours, even with her best friend at ringside. It wasn't good enough. Now, they are telling a brilliant story themselves with the matches and the promos and all of that. However, this costume is a part of that story. Like, Sasha took a bullet for Bayley so she could retain her championship. Bayley did not do that for her. Sasha wore a loving tribute to Bayley at this show. Bayley did not do that for her. They're doing some absolute magic, these two, and I just really hope the nuance and the subtlety, or as Michael Sidgwick would say, the deftness of this is not wasted on people. So there you have it. Those are all the hidden meanings behind the SummerSlam attire. Why, yes, you are correct. The hidden meaning in my attire is that A, I need to put a wash on, and B, I've been at What Culture for ages. Let me know what you made of it all in the comment below. Of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. No, really. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Adam Cleary. Hit me up on Twitter at Adam Cleary, Clery, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.